Hey there, and welcome to my desk. Yeah, this is something new. So, basically, if you haven't seen the channel update video that would have been up alongside this video if you're watching this when it's first uploaded, I highly suggest you go check that out first. I'll link it in the description or whatever thing YouTube uses to, whatever. But basically, I wanted to do something different with this second channel, so I'm gonna be making some chill, unscripted videos talking about small objects from my collection that maybe I don't feel like I want to spend weeks or a month writing and editing a core video or things of interest video about. It's kind of like the videos on my channel from 2014 to 2015 where I just randomly rambled about objects, and apparently some people watched those to warrant me growing until I was able to make core videos. So thank you guys. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to do smaller, chiller, unscripted videos that hopefully some people here might find enjoyable, because I know some people might be interested in the smaller things in my collection, particularly from the perspective of collecting games in Hong Kong. So I figured this might be interesting to do. And also, I apologize in advance if I stutter, repeat phrases a lot, because this is entirely unscripted. This is chill. I don't want to give myself lots of anxiety over whether I'm pronouncing certain words correctly or not. But hopefully this all goes fine. So for this first installment in this non-existent series, because I'm just going to be doing these whenever, I figured what better place to start with than the original Super Mario Bros. For the NES. This is kind of an interesting thing in my collection so far, because until this, I haven't really found a lot of NES games in Hong Kong. There's lots of Famicom games, like the Japanese version of the NES, but rarely any NES games. This one is actually, I found this one locally. And the only other NES games I have, including Tetris, which I kind of wanted to get because it didn't have a Famicom release, those I had to order from eBay. And the only NES games I've ever seen from Hong Kong locally so far, besides this one, are kind of small, minor third-party releases that no one else really cares about. I don't think I've ever even I haven't seen I've only seen a few first-party Nintendo NES games for sale in Hong Kong, and those were the Hong Kong versions, which run in PAL, which I don't really like. I think I've talked about it a little bit in my Nintendo Hong Kong core video, but this is definitely interesting because this is, the NTSC American version, and it was definitely legitimately sold in Hong Kong. The box is not in great shape. The entire top bit is missing, and I can't complain too much because I'm pretty sure standalone copies of Super Mario Bros. Are actually a bit harder to come across as well, because normally Super Mario Bros. Was a pack-in game with the console. I'm not sure if it was included in a separate box, but this is definitely a standalone game being sold. And if you see up here on the top, there is a sticker seal on top of the box. It's broken in half, but you can tell it's a sticker seal, which it says Nintendo on it. And NES game collectors might recognize this as part of the early run of NES games, which were not shrink wrapped, but they were instead sealed with this sticker. So this is actually a pretty early copy. I don't know how early this is. There's two types of stickers. There's a glossy and a matte sticker. I guess this is a matte sticker? I can't really tell, which dates this around 1986-ish. The glossy sticker would have been the early 1985 test market. In fact, some graded sealed copies of those sold for $1 bajillion recently. You might have seen that in the news. But yeah, it's just really interesting to come across one of these in Hong Kong. This is definitely an earlier print run of Super Mario Bros. And yeah, I was going to mention that there is a label, a price label here. I am not taking this off because this is 35 years old, and I don't want to ruin the box. But you can see here that this is indeed something that was once sold at a Hong Kong store. The price here is $175, which I did try to find out how much that would be worth in today's money because of inflation, and apparently this would have been worth around 600 something Hong Kong dollars today, or about $80 US. So, That's pretty pricey. Yeah, I definitely need like a cut in these videos to give myself a break, because I need to like grab a drink or something. The weather here has been like pretty dry, and my mouth has just been like, ugh. I need to like drink something every 5 minutes or something. But yeah, I picked this up because I actually did pick this up even before I got an NES and everything, just because, you know, it's an early copy of Super Mario Brothers. And hey, I've had like bajillion physical copies of Super Mario Brothers, so what's one more, you know? So since this box has been like basically completely destroyed, we can just like, you know, just take the contents out and just, you know, take a look at what you got when you purchased Super Mario Brothers in 1985. So first of all, we have this like we have the cartridge itself, which is in pretty good condition. I actually do like these little sleeves that the NES cartridges come in. This is the only one I have. This one originally did not come with this. I actually took this from another game that I had. But yeah, this is a pretty nice looking cartridge, Super Mario's. There's nothing really special to say about this if you're you know, familiar with NES cartridges, except one thing. But for that, I need to like open this cartridge up, so bear with me for a minute. Opening. Alright, we are in the guts. Like, these NES cartridges took up so much space when the actual chip is just this big. And here's something interesting. So I don't know if this comes across well on camera, but like there is this like lockout chip here. This is like what this is what enforces the region lock feature of the NES. And as you can see here, someone or an unknown force has cut out one of the legs on the chip. And what this basically did to the game is that if you just took this game and put it inside an American NES running NTSC, it will not work. But if you put this inside an NES that runs PAL, it would work. So essentially, I'm guessing the person who owned this before me had a Hong Kong version NES which runs in PAL, which accepts European games, and bought this like this copy of Super Mario Brothers, found that it doesn't work, somehow figured out that the way to fix it is to just cut off one of the chips. So this only plays on PAL consoles, unless of course you also broke the lockout chip inside your NES, which I did, so this game just plays normally on that. But yeah, kind of weird. I don't know if I'll ever like fix this by just, you know, resoldering the joints, because I'm terrible at soldering, but kind of interesting tidbit, I guess. And now I have to put it back together. This is a real good use of my time. Alright, that's about it for the cartridge, but let's see what else the box contains. So, yeah, one of the tabs on the top of the box broke off. Yeah, stuff happens. First of all, we have this exciting poster. So, let me open this up. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, so the Nintendo game plan, like, I think it shows you like all of the games that are about to be released for the NES. Of course, Super Mario Brothers is the real moneymaker here. But we've got, you know, Gyromite, Stack Up, Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, Wild Gummy. Okay, let's see which ones of these I actually currently own. Gyromite, I have that. Stack Up, I have that. Duck Hunt, on the Famicom, yeah. Hogan's Alley, yes. Wild Gunman, yes. Excite Bike, yes. Wrecking Crew, no. Mach Rider, no. Not golf, not baseball. I do have tennis. I used to have soccer, but now I don't. I don't have 10-yard fight Kung Fu. I don't have that. I have Ice Climber. I have Pinball. I don't have Clue Clue Land. Whoops. Super Mario Brothers, definitely. Balloon Fight, absolutely. Urban Champion, no. I've been thinking of like collecting a Famicom cartridge, but I last time I found one, I got something else instead. Donkey Kong, I have that. Donkey Kong Jr., I don't believe I have, actually. I have Donkey Kong 3. Do I have Donkey Kong Jr.? I'm looking at my like shelf right now. I don't think I have that. I do have Mario Brothers. I have Popeye. And I actually have a Famicom card of Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Like, all of these I own are Famicom cards, except Super Mario Brothers, which I have in all the bajillion formats. But yeah, and of course at the bottom you have Rob, Nintendo's Trojan horse to market the NES in the 1980s, when every other retailer did not want to stock the NES because it was a video game system. You should probably check out the Gaming Historian's video on Rob the Robot. It's a pretty good retrospective. But alright. So next up we have the original manual. This one is a fun read. because this was before the Mario series has had an established lore and lots of like people controlling the IP and how it must be used and how you cannot have unique characters in the Paper Mario. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna go off. I'm not gonna go off on that tangent, but yeah, this is interesting. Like, if you've never seen, I'm pretty sure most of the people watching this video will have read the original manual before, but if you haven't, oh boy, it's a doozy. So, object of the game. One day, the kingdom of the peaceful mushroom people was invaded by the Koopa, a tribe of turtles famous for their black magic. The Koopa turtles are famous for their black magic. Okay. The quiet, peace-loving mushroom people were turned into mere stones, bricks, and even field horsehair plants, whatever that is, and the mushroom kingdom fell into ruin. The only one who can undo the magic spell on the mushroom people and return them to their normal selves is the Princess Toadstool, the daughter of the Mushroom King, who was basically never seen again in the games outside of cartoon adaptations, I believe. Unfortunately, she is presently in the hands of the great Koopa Turtle King. Mario, the hero of the story, maybe, in quotation, I don't know why they put maybe there, here's about the mushroom people's plight. Like, this maybe has caused endless game theory videos about whether or not Mario is the true villain of the story. But Mario hears about the mushroom people's plight and sets out on a quest to free the mushroom princess from the evil Koopa and restore the fallen kingdom of the mushroom people. You are Mario! It's up to you to save the mushroom people from the black magic of the Koopa. I believe most of the story is actually still canon. So if you're reading the manual of if you're reading the manual from the virtual console releases of the game, they basically have the same story. So cool. Toads being turned into bricks are canon, I guess. And yeah, so we have, this is regular stuff. I kind of find it funny how up on the directional pad it's just question mark. It actually doesn't do anything, but just it doesn't even say you don't use this button. It's just you figure it out. There's probably some secret on there. Press it 21 times, make Luigi appear. And I just kind of like these old illustrations of showing how the world is laid out, and all these super basic illustrations. And yes, the sprites. Back when NES artwork was very heavily sprite focused because they wanted to portray exactly how their games were gonna look because of the video game crash and all that. So that's why on the cover you have this pixel recreation of Mario about to die by falling into lava. Even though apparently Miyamoto said that he wasn't gonna fall into the lava. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's gonna do a wall jump or something. I don't know. But yeah, check out all these old terms. Magic Mushroom, Fire Flower, Starman. I think, is the star still even called the Starman? I don't think it has been called that for a long while. I know the Mario Wiki uses that, but I'm pretty sure nowadays they just call it the star. And of course the Super Mushroom is called, the Magic Mushroom is now called the Super Mushroom. But, Mario, Magic Mushroom, Super Mario, Fire Flower, Fiery Mario. It's not Fire Mario, it's Fiery Mario. And, one-up mushroom, coin, question mark? And a question mark. Two question. What is this layout? You can't even call this a question block. It's just a question mark and a question mark. A literal question mark. Let's see that in the game. What does this even mean, though? In addition, there are other ways to get an extra Mario. I guess it just means, jumping on enemies in a row. We'll touch on that later. I think this manual mentions that in a later part. And, yeah, how to topple the turtle tribe. I just love, these old illustrations of Mario. This goofy-looking version of Mario. And that Koopa. They're so chubby. I love them. And, here we have the enemies. Little Goomba. A mushroom who betrayed the Mushroom Kingdom. One stomp and he dies. This is actually a pretty notable use of a Nintendo game actually using the word die, death, and kill. Because I'm pretty sure, here you can see, he cannot be killed by bad guys. He's invincible. They don't die, but simply return to their old regular Mario selves. This was before Nintendo had that strict code that says we're a family-friendly company, and then we cannot use the word die, death, or kill in our games because that's not for the kids. That is not family-friendly. So it's interesting to see this in the original manual for Super Mario Bros. I don't think it was even like changed in later reissues of the game. So that's interesting. And more enemies. Hammer Brothers, Spiny, Lakitu, Piranha Plants. There's a notable misspelling here, which just says Piranha Plants. This is, the usual. Spiny's eggs are a separate entity in the manual, apparently, and bloopers are called bloopers. Potables are still called potables, and mushroom retainers, they weren't called Toad yet. I wonder what the first game to call them Toad was. Was it like Mario 2 USA? I guess. And a jumping board. I love how there's all these enemies, Princess Toadstool, and there's jumping board. It has to be a character in the Mario game. But yeah, Bowser, the Sorcerer King holding Princess Toadstool captive in the last castle. He comes at you spitting fire. There are several ways to kill him, but you only get points if you use fireballs. That's an interesting tip. I don't think a lot of people actually know that. Well, I guess it might be common knowledge. I have no idea. Anyway, whoops. Oh, here comes the fun part. Here are the Super Mario Bros. Secret tricks. We are about to learn some industry trade secrets. And first of all, we have the bulldozer attack. Kick one of the shells and then run right behind it, and your path will be clear for you as your enemies are sent flying. And he's telling you to watch out for the shell being rebound, and Mario's running for his dear life. And here's the interesting part. Because the screen moves from left to right, there are enemies off the edge of the screen that can't be seen. You cannot kill enemies you can't see by sending a turtle shell off the screen after them. Why not? Maybe they jump over the enemy when Mario isn't looking. Strangely enough, however, if a kicked shell bumps into a pipe off the screen, it comes ricocheting back at Mario. So this is kind of like an interesting, I guess they were wondering why if you kick a shell off screen, it doesn't kill the enemies, but still rebounds off pipes that are off screen. And then instead of trying to get around this random error, trying to fix it, they just kind of explain it in the manual. It's oh no, the enemies jump over the Koopa shells when Mario isn't looking. I don't know if this was ever considered canon, but this is kind of funny. But when a shell comes ricocheting back at you, it's possible, for a real pro that is, to stomp on the turtle one more time and stop it. There are plenty of other tricks, and chain reaction techniques. Use the old domino effect, as your parents, to wipe out a bunch of bad guys one after the other to get high points. Each coin you grab is worth 200 points. If you collect 100 coins, besides the points for the coins you get, you also get an extra Mario. Without a doubt, a lot of coins are tucked away somewhere. What do you suppose this is under chain reaction techniques? Collecting 100 coins equals a 1-up. I don't know if that actually files under chain reactions, but sure, whatever you say. Oh, top secret. You get 50 points for each brick you smash. I don't think that's top secret, but there are several different ways to get an extra Mario. Try to figure them out for yourself. I'm pretty sure aside from, getting 1-up mushrooms, which this manual already describes, and, jumping on enemies 8 times in a row to get a 1-up, I don't think there's other ways to get an extra Mario. But whatever. And then at the end of an area, fireworks may go off, and for each explosion you get 500 points. The reason the fireworks go off is a secret, see if you can figure it out. I do kind of miss the days where manuals are just here's a mysterious phenomenon, you figure it out yourself. Guess this just a part of the old... Guess just this part of the old video game culture, where not everything is explained to you in guides over the internet and stuff. So, that is the manual for the original Super Mario Bros. I guess we'll take a look at the back of the box as well. It's kind of the same thing. He's just referring to, all the old names for the characters. You have the Mushroom Princess, the evil Koopa Tribe. I guess they're still called the Koopa Tribe. They're just called the Koopa Troop. I guess that's what they're called. And the evil Koopa King. Wait, was he called Bowser? Oh, hey. He's already called Bowser. I don't know why he's Koopa King, Bowser. I guess if they used Bowser on a box, no one would know what that meant, so, okay. And also, it's another non-stop adventure from the Super Mario Bros. The only other non-stop adventure from the Super Mario Bros. Before this was Mario Bros. I don't think that necessarily classifies as a non-stop adventure, but, okay. And there you have it. This is the original packaging for Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Normally I'd want to showcase the Japanese version as well, but I only have the cartridge for that and not the packaging. And apparently boxed versions of the Japanese version are still fairly pricey, not as expensive as the NES version, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get my hands on one. But this is still a pretty neat thing to have in my collection, even though it's not in the best shape. But I take what I can get because NES games are super hard to come by over here. So, yeah, a pretty interesting early print run of Super Mario Bros. Dating back to around 1986, I believe, if things are to be believed. And, yeah. So, thank you for checking out this first video in a series of I don't know how many more I'll do. Because there are lots of interesting small little things in my collection that I'd love to make videos on. So, if you're interested, you can actually leave a suggestion in the comment section below if you have something like you want to ask if I have a particular item I can take a look at. You can leave a comment below, and I might take a look at it, and I might take your suggestions. You can smell the unscriptedness just coming through me, where I just stutter like hell. I'm gonna stop soon before this gets any worse. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do these regularly, but I'll hopefully pump these out a bit more than just like the core videos where I do like one per month or something. Of course, I will still be focusing on working on those, but when I'm busy with schoolwork, like I did mention in my channel update, I might be doing these every now and then, just to, do a chill session where I talk about games and hopefully improve my English speaking skills. Thank you for sticking with me, but I'll catch you guys whenever I have my next video ready. So, have a nice day, and I'll catch you later. I did a hand wave again, come on!